Hi guys, welcome to Plant Path Podcast today. My name is Oluwatosin Ade. Plant Path Podcast is your choice hub for book reviews and crucial conversations in education. All right, this episode is dedicated to the celebration of Workers' Day, which is also called Labor Day or May Day. On this day, laborers, workers, and employees, and people in the working class are generally celebrated for their work. Their work is acknowledged, and they are encouraged to also rest and have proper work-life balance. Okay, thanks for always listening, commenting, liking, sharing with your friends across all platforms. We really do appreciate you on the show. We really do. Shout out to everybody. Okay, so today we are doing a book review of the book Promote Yourself at Work. The subtitle says The New Rules for Career Success by Dan Schawbel. Let's go on a quick commercial break. We'll be right back to start discussing the book. The blood path. All right, welcome back from our break. Okay, so in this book, Daniel H. Pink is actually one of my favorite authors, has this to say about the book. He says that Promote Yourself is a perfect read for young people starting their real work, job, or careers, or for veterans who want to up their games. And on the front cover of the book, it says, The future is you and your career is in your hands. The future is you and your career is in your hands. So let's just jump right into the book immediately. Dan dedicated this book to his parents, and that is so all cute. Like, oh my god, maybe I should dedicate my next book to my parents as well, like I have always done anyways. Okay, so the foreword of this book was written by Marcus Buckingham. I would always say this on the show. Please stop skipping the forward, the introduction, and all of those juicy parts. Sometimes, even by the time you read all of those parts, you've gotten an idea of maybe 25% or 30% of the book itself. So please stop jumping those parts. So Marcus Buckingham was talking about strength generally, our strength as an individual, and it is easier, and he was saying that it is easier to project your strength than to fix your weaknesses. Yeah, so it's true that yes, you have to fix your weaknesses, you have to like outgrow them and all of those things, yada 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 yada. But then people also forget the fact that it is also very important to project what you already have. You understand? Your strengths are unique and infinitely transferable. That means that no matter where you find yourself in your career and in your relationships, your strengths are like an intricate part of you, and they would always come up, like they would always just be a part of you. So yes, it's very important to work on your strength. Not only your weaknesses require working on. So be aware of your strengths and uniqueness and turn them into your personal brand. Be aware of your strength. Okay, be aware of your strengths really, and then turn them and your uniqueness and turn them into your personal brand. Promote yourself doesn't mean getting promoted. This one is very important to know. Instead, this book is not really about how to like be the senior manager in your organization. Instead, this book is about how to communicate your unique contribution so that you make yourself indispensable at your work. Your personal brand is your key to success. Okay, so then in the introduction of the book pretty much talks about thinking inside the box. And I was so excited while I was personally reading this book before I started reviewing. You understand? I was so important to see this heading, thinking how outside the box, because there's been a lot of the heading actually says the heading of introduction says thinking within the box. Everybody is always talking about thinking about the box, outside the box. But then, okay, don't let me go ahead of myself. Malcolm Gladwell, he says if everyone has to think outside the box, maybe it's the box that needs fixing. So so yes, I know that you're thinking outside the box and everything, because it's normal human nature to always think about the next career, the next job, the next this, and not exactly focus on even enjoying what someone currently has. Have you not seen that person? Have you not seen people that they'll be like, oh my god, I hate my boss. My boss is shitty. I hate my colleagues. They are snitches. I hate this. I hate that. And the person go, oh, I'm trying to apply for a new job. I'm trying to do this. Oh, trust me, I've been there, done that, and all everything. So when I was reading this, I just laughed. I was like, I know this thing. Like I've seen it a lot. Oh yes, these people, they're all bad people. I want to leave this place. I hate this organization. And the next thing, this person gets another job, gets to a new organization, and in less than 6 months, in fact 3 months, 2 months, person is like, oh my god, these people, the vampires are here again. My village people have followed me to this place again. I'm leaving. And this person just keeps going merry-go-round, and just keeps going over and over and over again to different jobs, different this, different that you grab. So it's very important to not only look outside the box, think within your box, like what you currently have, be grateful for it or them, everything that you currently have, and then ensure that you are bringing your A game to what you currently do. Even Bible says it that if I set thou a man diligent in his business, you walk before king and not mere men. David in the Bible, the biblical story, David in the Bible was not trying to get a new job, wasn't trying to promote himself, quote and unquote, was just doing his thing. And when an opportunity presented himself, he naturally just slided into the next thing to do. Okay, so and let's also mention this, that young people are competing with fellow young people for jobs and veterans. So it is this promoting yourself is a very important thing to think about at this point in time. Okay, so and young people are of course needed in organizations. Let's start like this whole introduction pretty much tells us to start looking inwards, like really looking inward, and then bring everything that you have, bring them inside, like introspect, bring everything together. Okay, in this introduction, Dan actually even talks about an article, the brand. That's like one of these marketers and what they call it, brand promoters, marketing experts. This is something that is very common in their world. I actually had to go read about this episode, the brand called you. That's the name of the article. You could Google it by Tom Peters. So I had to go read about it, and pretty much it's just about brand. And it says that um branding yourself is an inescapable thing. You can't escape from it as an individual, especially in this 21st century. And it's like me incorporated, Tosin Mubado Ade incorporated. So ensure that you're working on your personal brand and everything. And immediately I just said me incorporated. I just remember the Joy Incorporated book review that we did by Richard Sheridan. The book says how to how we build a workplace that people love. It's really a book about organizational culture, and I think it is a good one for you to listen to. You can just find it on this platform you're listening to us. Okay, so let's go back to what we're talking about on this book, Promote Yourself at Work by Dan Schawbel. Okay, remember that you don't have to necessarily quit your job to succeed. Like you don't have to like close up everything, close shop and go start a business or something. On this job you are in, you can bring a mix of your passion, your expertise, your ambition and confidence, everything. You understand, you bring it together. And in all of this whole thinking inside the box thing, a lot of people make it seem like once you're working for somebody, you're not doing well, you're settling. Yes, I understand that part, that you want to do your thing, but then a lot of things that you would need on that job, you have an opportunity to learn in your current industry. So please pay very careful attention to that, please. Thank you. Okay, so let's also go on to another part that says that new workplace, new rules. Okay, new workplace, new rules. Everybody's always talking about, oh, the workplace is changing, is this, and sometimes I'm like, hello, tell us about this change, tell us exactly what these changes are. So if I know these changes, I know how to prepare myself for it and for them, and I am not caught unawares, you girl. So new rules for your new workplace. How do I even start with them now? I like the fact that Dan Schawbel actually in this book, in this Promote Yourself at Work, was able to identify a couple of things that are different about the new workplace, which is very important for all of us to know, to familiarize ourselves with. Okay, number one thing that is different about the workplace today is that your job description is just the beginning. Andrew Goldman says, you can't be doing the bare minimum unless you are working for your dad. That's what Andrew Goldman said. I mean, Oluwatosin Mobaduade, we say this to you. If it's my dad you are working for, you had better just be delivering top notch. Like, you can't even be doing barest minimum because it's your father that owns the business. Trust me, my father is going to kick you out. So wherever, okay, I don't know if you have a father that will make you do your barest minimum or something. I don't have a father that will make me do my barest minimum. He doesn't put any pressure on me, but it just makes me, like, he pushes me to, like, reach out for my potential. So my job description, our job descriptions on our jobs, or on any project you are currently working on, that they are just the beginning. Trust me, they are just the beginning. There's just so much more to that job description you're seeing. So that's why people say, oh, I looked at the job description on LinkedIn and it still looks like something I do. And I'm like, okay, there are still is this, trust me, this role is going to still involve a lot of things other than what you can currently see on the job role. That is even one. Secondly, is the fact that once you see, like, too much on the job description already, you know that you're in for trouble, because trust me, not everything was listed for you. Okay, so secondly is that your job is temporary. Can we say this all over again? You know, gone are the days that people will actually be on a job 20 years, this, they work in a particular place. Those kind of things really happen today. In fact, research has shown that the average millennial will change jobs every 18 months. You understand? That's like 1.5 years. And this is for people to even stay up to 1.5 years. Like, they have really tried. You grab. So your job is temporary. Even if you don't want to leave your organization, your project money will expire, your organization may be merging or is being acquired, or something is going on in your industry, or major changes, technological changes and everything. Imagine that you're a tech guy and the only code you knew how to do was Azure or Python or just one programming language. And now, because of technological advancement and the opportunities, you just say, oh, I can do project management, or I can do lecturing, or I can do this. There's so many opportunities for you to tap into. So your job is very temporal in these days. And see your job as a stepping stone. As much as, yeah, you're looking inward at every point in time, you're bringing your A game on your job. Always see your job as or your project that you're doing as a stepping stone. They are all just stepping stones. They are not the destination. Like, you're on a career journey. You understand? Next thing is that you're going to be a lot of skills, and you probably don't have a lot of skills that you probably don't have at the moment. And, like, I feel this before, like, hearing statements like this used to make me feel uncomfortable, but now I feel very comfortable and at peace with knowing this, that my job, my project, everything I'm going to do is going to require a lot of skills I don't have right now. So that means I need to be open to learning. You understand? I need to be open to learning, like, because I know that I don't have everything I need, and I have to just keep learning, keep learning. Okay, so the best compliments I've ever received in my career life was when one of my bosses, or my manager, actually said to, like, it was in a team meeting, best said, oh, actually, I knew Tosin was going to get this job the moment she walked right into my office, like, the very first day she came for our interview. I knew she was going to get this job, because I wasn't even looking at the core competence for the job at the time. I was just looking at her openness, I was looking at her global perspective, I was looking at how a leadership skill. I could see that this person is a leader, and anywhere you put her, she's going to fit. Like, this person is like water, Omi, and she's going to be able to fit in anywhere you put her. And that was just a compliment that got me blushing. And shout out to my manager. Okay. Okay, that was a compliment that got me blushing, you understand, at the time, and it also made me introspect a lot, you understand, so that I can also build on this. Yes, we said that you're going to require a lot of skills, and at Plamper, we are always talking about that. Get skills, always be learning, read, listen to book reviews, read a book, attend conferences, just open yourself to learning, because you know your job is just much more, more than what you're currently seeing. Okay, so let me add just one more thing to what I have just said about our job. Okay, so your reputation is this most single, like, your reputation is the single greatest asset that you have. Your personal life is not in public. Those are things that change. So like, even when somebody is going to recruit you for a job, they're still going to try to snoop on you on social media to just have an idea of who you are outside of the job. You need to build a positive presence in the new media. That's very, very important. You really need to build a positive presence on LinkedIn, on Facebook. So it is not the big boys that are not on Facebook or anything. At least be on one media. Okay, for example, I don't have a personal Instagram account as I currently speak. Today is 2nd of May 2022. I don't have a personal Instagram account. I have a Facebook account that I don't really use. I'm not on any other TikTok, on all of those. But on LinkedIn, you will definitely find me there. Like, I am there, like, I full ground you grab. So just, it doesn't have to be all the media, but at least you can just pick one media that works for you. At least at this age, at this stage of my life, I am not exactly very in tune with posting my personal life online and everything, but then I'm very in tune with my career, you understand. So yeah, so LinkedIn is my go-to place, and maybe in the future I could work on other platforms as well, you grab. So, and then, so that is one of the things that is different about the new workspace that we have now. um then you would also need to work with people from different generations. Let me mention that the author was saying that, and I've also experienced that on your job, on the average, you are dealing with people from 4 different generations. Okay, wait a minute, you may just be looking at your, what they call it, the age distribution of your team, and be saying, oh, we're all age mates, oh, we are not that, we are all young people, we are all techies, blah 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 blah. Nah, that's not what I mean. Like, I mean that you're interacting, even if you're not, your colleagues are not like different age range, you're probably 7 age ranges of older people, younger people, teenagers, adolescents, babies, youth, you grab that kind of thing. Or maybe your vendors in the organization, people your services are tilted towards. So yes, you're most likely dealing with about 4 different generations, and you have to just learn how to work with people from different generations. Okay, yes, so that is basically like a couple of things that are different about the workplace, you understand. About the workplace, you are the future. Entrepreneurship is for everybody, not just for business owners. Your hours are out, nobody really cares how long you work, but your accomplishments are in. People are measuring your success by your accomplishment, not by how long you work and everything. That stereotype of, yeah, I work late in the office doesn't really sell again. Your career is in your hands and not your employers. And there's a point here that also says that your boss's career matters as well. Okay, so basically that's like a preview of the things that are different about the workspace now. I want to go on a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we're talking about chapter 5, gain visibility without being known as a self-promotional jerk. Still with us, we'll be right back. The blood path. Hi guys, welcome back. Welcome back to Plant Path Podcast, the choice hub for book reviews and crucial conversations in education. This episode we're discussing the book review of Promote Yourself by Dan Schawbel, and I would encourage you to give it a thumbs up, like it, share it, comment, give it to every friend you know that needs to be promoting themselves at work at the moment. And ensure we have other amazing episodes of book reviews and crucial conversations, responding to societal issues like the recent emotional abuse book review that we did in response to the death of the late singer Osinachi. So there are just a lot of book reviews that we've done to respond to societal issues. Uh, and crucial conversations that are going on in the world, and of course in line with our theme, we would encourage you to actually listen to all of those, and you'd have a very nice time with us. Okay, all right, back to the book review. I told you before the commercial break that that we're going to talk about chapter 5, how to gain visibility without being known as a self-promotional jerk. Okay, so let me read this book by Abraham Lincoln. It says, "Don't worry when you are not recognized, but strive to be worthy of reputation." Like, it's okay not to be recognized. Like, sometimes it happens that people just don't want to acknowledge your work, but you should be more concerned if you are not worthy of reputation you grab. So, yes, that is that. Okay, back to what we're talking about. Let's learn how to promote ourselves, subtly promote. Like, please know this keyword, you're subtly promoting yourself, but you're doing that sternly. So it's like you have an agenda, but you're very cool and pretty about your agenda you grab. So be excited about your work. Very, very important. See, it's very important to know when somebody has enthusiasm towards something and when someone doesn't. You have to learn how to be excited about your work. Like, nobody likes somebody that's always complaining when he or she comes to the office or so. So learn how to be excited about your work, and it's a real privilege to be in an industry that you like. And if you don't like your industry, you have to at least like it. Like, I did a post on LinkedIn that about actually even liking what you do. It pays your bills. At least it gives you an opportunity to live a life that you want, and at least you should give it that respect by liking it. Okay, make yourself worthy of being talked about. Make yourself worthy of being talked about. If you have a strong personal brand and you're an expert in what you do, and you do some quality job, you get along with others, and you're a team player, people will naturally talk about you and what you have done. So yes, make yourself being worthy of being spoken about. Number two, be well known for one specific thing. When people can count on you to deliver on a subject area, you would have more evangelists that will propagate the good news about you than you can count. Okay, let me talk about some, let me share a testimony with you guys. Okay, so before I used to, yes, like I never used to bother about the statistics from this podcast. Like, we just do our thing on the team and everything, but naturally I would just get feedback about what's happening, what are the numbers and all of those, and I kind of just didn't pay attention to it for some time. You understand? And one of these days, I just looked at my report and I was like, "Are you kidding me? Like, we have actually grown big time. The numbers that we had strove for before, like the numbers that we had really been thinking about, we've done them effortlessly. And funny enough, we haven't even promoted ourselves as much as we used to, like spoken as much. I feel that, and a lot of people see me physically, and maybe let's say someone has not seen me for some time, and the first thing that person says is, "Oh my God." Okay, I reached out to somebody recently, and the last time I saw her was in like 2017. And I was like, "Oh, how are you?" Like, I said, "Sorry, I haven't called." She said, "Oh, I actually follow you. Like, I see your, what do you call it? I see plant path post. I see this. Oh, the podcast. I'm always listening. This, that." I'm like, "Oh my God, really? This person is actually listening." And then it's also very humbling when people send me anything education. I mean, it's not a joke amongst my friends and everybody. People are like, anytime I see anything education, I just forward it to Tosin, because education is a thing. Like, education is Tosin. So like, and that's really the point, for you to actually think about a subject area and say, "Oh, this is Tosin's subject. I can call Tosin and she'll be able to deliver on this. Oh, I have a project. I should be able to put together a team for me and get this project running in ground." So that is very, 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 very important. Okay, so that's what we just spoke about, being well known for one specific thing. Remember, we're talking about how to gain the visibility without being known as a self-promotional jerk. Number three thing you should do is to take responsibility for promoting yourself. That doesn't mean that you become a braggart or a jerk, but it means that you make sure that when you have a big win, you invite others to share in your excitement. Like, let's talk about LinkedIn people here. LinkedIn, you people should well done, oh, because pretty much LinkedIn people just mostly overdo it. So this people usually just talk about things and they try to promote themselves, and it's sometimes very annoying. I know a few people that I'm like, I don't even want to look at this post right now because this person is obviously always trying to put themselves forward. But what you should do, what Dan Schawbel was saying in the book, and I really agree with him, is that you should focus on the result. So if I'm going to talk about Plan podcast, I'm most likely not do more than tell you it's book review and crucial conversations. I'll do more of telling you testimonials of people that have listened, that have helped them in their relationships, in their jobs, and help them gain perspective on maybe a current issue, a contemporary issue in society. You understand? So yes, make it all about the results. Yes, and people will naturally see you. Make it all about what you're doing, your impact, and people will see you. And then find ways to expand your roles. Number four. Okay, so you really need to find a way to um expand your role, like do more than your job description without overworking yourself. And one of the things that I would recommend, we said something about thinking within the box. One thing I would recommend at this point in time One thing I would recommend at this point in time is learning how to bring your of this job skills on the job. Okay, let me give you a very good instance. I like to write. Everybody knows that I love to read and I also love to write. So if I'm working on a project with a team, it's very likely that I would offer to write the report for the team, which is very, very nice because I'm bringing my off the job skills to work and I'm expanding my role. Like people just say, oh, she likes to write the report, and write really beautiful reports. And then my name will goes out on the report every time. So I'm softly promoting myself. I'm also helping everybody, my colleagues or whoever I am on the project. They're not seeing me as a check person. It's like to see as if that she has done the report. Grab, and that way I'm also softly promoting myself. Okay, so number five thing you should do to promote yourself without gain visibility without looking like a jerk is to make your manager look good. Make others look good. Like always talk about what other people have done, acknowledge what people have done, and your manager. It could be hard, but try not to like talk about your manager. Even if you're in a place other people are talking about your manager, learn the act of saying a lot without saying anything. Like, yes, you're part of the gist, you're listening and everything, but it's not like you're not saying anything specific or having a strong opinions about your colleagues. Your colleagues are your colleagues, they are not your siblings. Please keep it at that. One book I read, the person was like, the when you resume a job for the first 10 years or 5 years, treat your colleagues as colleagues. After that, they might now become family. You grab that. Okay, so get yourself from some evangelist. So um this point, people say I don't need anybody, I don't need everything by myself. You're just joking, like you're really just kidding yourself. You need people, and you actually do need people. You need to learn how to, and you know that what others say about you carries weight more than what you say about yourself, especially if the person is your manager. It carries weight naturally. Like, that's the truth, let's just face it. So yes, you need to find a way to you understand, like talk about yourself, like other people talk about you, um endorsements and everything. So recently I attended a webinar and the woman was really spitting fire. Like, she was spitting fire. The webinar was during the weekend, and on Monday morning I just went on LinkedIn. I was like, oh, a wise woman just said, and I tagged the person, and before I knew it, the woman just like reposted what I shared, and she was commenting on my feed and everything. And that's like one of my wins of what they call it, of April 2022, because like that brought me more connections, more interactions. I got to talk to more people. within and outside my field, and it was very good. So yes, endorsements are really powerful. Don't act like you don't need them, because you really do. Okay, so let's talk about what to do when someone takes credit for your work, because sometimes you do an excellent job and there's one jerk somewhere in your organization that wants to take responsibility, credit for your work. And that is something I don't take lightly with anybody. I don't take it. There are things that I don't take lightly. I don't take threats lightly, and I don't like it when people try to take no credit for my work. Yes, especially when people do it in a very snide way. Okay, snide, rude way. Okay, anytime this thing happens, you really need to, this is not the time to go to the bathroom to cry. I was talking to someone yesterday and I was like, you know what? I don't like it when people make too many emotional decisions when they are meant to be using their brains. I know that it's painful. You should cry when you get home. Don't worry, you'll be okay. But this is not the time to go and meet the person and be crying and say, you are not a good person. You took my word. You're trying to take credit. God will judge you. That's not the way to go about it. Don't worry, if you need to cry first, let the thing enter you very well. Cry first. But then when you're going to meet that person, make sure you're not crying and you're using your brains. Like, I remember something happened recently and I was telling somebody that, oh, by the time you're going to have a conversation with this person, maybe you have bullet points with you. I used to do it a lot when I was younger. Like, I would even write it when I was younger. I would actually write it out and hold the paper with me. These days I'll probably write it on a gadget, you understand? But that writing, I'm going to do it so I don't lose track of what I am saying, you understand? So if you have something like that, it may be very important for you to take a paper and then write out what the issues are. State the issue very well. You're not going there to shout, you're not going there to be rude. No time, there's no point wasting your energy on all of those. You're going to state the issue and you just tell the person, for instance, remember that I worked on so and I'm disappointed that I'm unhappy. In fact, don't even say unhappy. Unhappy seems like you are putting the blame on yourself. Like, use a word that describes what that other person has done. I'm disappointed in you, and you try to take credit for what I did, or I didn't get a shout out for that during the meeting, or it was left blank who did the work. Say it out the way it is. And of course, you're still talking to this person one on one. You have not yet escalated the situation. So so if the person says, and let the person give, just after you talk, keep quiet. And you know, when you are talking to somebody, you keep quiet, you give the person an opportunity to talk. Give them, that person has the opportunity to actually respond, maybe apologize or correct the mistake and everything. And then make sure you are not stopping at a private apology. Like, my parents usually say this, that you cannot slap me in private, and you cannot slap me in public and now apologize to me in private. We are going to go back to that public space and you're going to tender the apology publicly. So don't accept a private apology, because even if the person apologizes to you, it makes you feel better, you stop crying or whatever, this person has not still taking responsibility for what they have done publicly. And I see a lot of bosses make a mistake with this. Like, something happens, then you now go inside, you try to talk about it and let it go down. Nah, that's not the way to do. The way you shouted at the person, or the way you did your stunts outside, you have to, or you undermine the person's word, you have to like correct it publicly. Very, very important. So everybody that needs to be to know about the work you did, like how to take credit for your work, like the work you did and everything, they need to actually know. So if now we just painted a scenario where everything went on well and the person was being civil and all, and if at all for any reason this person does not acknowledge you or says what can you do and everything, please take it to your boss, take it to your manager, take it to the next person on the organizational ladder and everything, and make sure you get justice, quote and unquote. Don't be shy. It's not, I see a lot of, especially women, they say, no, let me just be cool, it's not about being cool. Oh. When you were actually doing all the work and doing all the research and working late night, nobody was there for you, nobody was there with you. Once somebody will just come to the stage and take credit for everything you do, bro, sis, don't do that to yourself. Actually, in view of this, we have a book review by a woman, she's called Louis P. I'm trying to remember her name, I can't remember her name. Louis P. The name of the book is Nice Girls Still Don't Get the Corner Office. Nice Girls didn't still don't get the corner office. So that is a very good book you should listen to, especially if you have issues with people taking credit for your work. Even guys can listen to it, you would enjoy it. All right. um we've been talking about chapter 5, and the real subject in this book is how to gain visibility without being known as a self-promotional jerk. Before we round up with this chapter, with this part of the talk, let me talk about this one, how to answer what do you do question. Okay, these days you go out and you meet somebody and the person is like, how what do you do? And sometimes people just go on and on talking. And it has happened to me before. I tried to introduce myself when I was much younger, and when I finished, the person just politely said, I can't remember anything you said. Ah, it pained me on my English. But then I realized as I grew that, and it was not necessary. And Dan Schawbel also said something in the book about the way he went on and on talking about himself, and the person told him it was actually an attendant, a bar attendant. The person said that is so unsexy, unattractive. So yes, it's actually very unattractive to keep talking about yourself and everything. So if somebody should ask you what you do, you should just talk about a few highlights and then direct the question back to the person. So the person says, oh, what do you do? Oh, I'm an educator. You may have to practice. I've been practicing my own and it's been working so far so good. Oh, I'm an educator. I like to do this, I like to do that. Okay, I'm an educator. These are the kind of projects I've worked before, the places I've worked before, and these are the opportunities I'm willing to explore in the next 12 months. That's all. So, and just talk about it briefly. 2 minutes, 3 minutes. In fact, 3 minutes too much. 1 minute, 2 minutes, we're out of it. And I goes, and you, then we can now start conversing about it. Remember, it's a conversation, not a speech. So you allow the other person to talk. And so you can converse, you can dialogue, you understand, you can communicate. All right. The dangers of excessive self-promotion. Of course, when you're promoting yourself too much, everybody, you're overdoing the thing. Everybody will look at you that this guy is just a jerk that is looking for cheap popularity in the office. um and sometimes you don't even know when you're overdoing it. So let me give you 12 tips that would just help you know whether you're over promoting yourself, whether you are being obnoxious. So if you're being obnoxious or you're overdoing it. Number one, do you ask yourself this statement, whether they are true or false? I use the I word in conversation more than any word or letter? You know, a lot of people, some people just like themselves. I. Please pay attention to that. Ensure that you're using words that you understand, that communicate team spirit. You're not just doing only me. Okay. Okay, so ask yourself, do you ask yourself what others do immediately I launch into conversations? Like what I did, what I just said. Like sometimes you talk to somebody and you realize that you just finished talking about yourself and you have no idea about this person. So if you do that so much, then it's very likely that you're an obnoxious self-promoter. I frequently talk about myself in the third person. Do I frequently talk about myself in the third person? Please ask yourself. I publish on Facebook or I publish on Facebook or Twitter, or tweet about useless things more than 5 times a day while I work at work. Do you do that? When I talk, I make sure my voice is louder than anyone else's in the room. If I accomplish something at work, I make sure all my coworkers and their mothers know about it. That one is deep. Oh. What do When I do self-assessment, I never criticize anything I've done or not done. If I borrow creative ideas from coworkers, I take credit for them. Is that for those ideas? Meanwhile, you use people's original ideas. So, is that true about you or false? I'm too busy playing Angry Birds on my iPhone to pay attention to what anyone else might be saying. Do you even hear from other people? Okay, I name drop constantly and talk about people I've never actually met as if they were my best buds. Let me take the last one and come back to this. I think I'm my manager's boss and not the other way around. Oh my god, so that part of name dropping. I know somebody that is always like, oh, this person, I know him. Oh, this person, I know him. I'm like, be calming down, relax. Like, and even if you know this person personally, and a lot of times just actually doesn't have personal relationships with this person, with these people that he or she is mentioning, it is just very pissing. when people, you understand, act like that. It's not nice at all. So ensure you're not doing that at work or at any other place. It's very PC. Okay, so remember not to be afraid to make yourself visible, because visibility, remember not to make your to remember not to be afraid to make yourself be visible, because visibility breeds opportunities. Yes. Okay, numbers chapter 6, what managers look for when they are promoting. Yes, when managers are promoting, general law Colin Powell says, if you are going to achieve excellence in big things, you must develop habits in the little matters. Excellence is not an option, it is a prevailing attitude. So yes, you have to learn soft skills, and the soft skills that managers actually are looking for when they promote people at work. Yes, okay, so you first listed some things. The person can prioritize work, has a positive attitude, but then he has an extensive list on page 142. And then, okay, so when managers are employing the people that are promoting people that have good communication skills, so they are just looking for people that can prioritize work, leadership abilities. They are looking for people with positive attitude, teamwork, organizational skills, communication skills, ability to adapt to change, strategic thinking and analytical skills, leadership ability. The person is goal oriented, has industry knowledge. The person builds positive relationship at work, then has a professional presence, technical ability, is likable, can work virtually, is digitally savvy, then has cultural intelligence, years of experience, extracurricular activities, and very, very important, global perspective. This global perspective, especially if your organization deals with people around the globe. There's even no company that doesn't deal with people around the globe these days, because you're online, people are watching you, you grab. So global perspective is very, very important. Remember to make yourself promotable. Actually, organizations want to promote. Make yourself more promotable, you grab. And then make sure you're developing cross-generational relationships at work. Really make sure you're doing that. I already said before that it's very likely that you're dealing with people in 4 different generations on your job, and you have to learn how to relate to everyone. um Build your network across your industry, please. LinkedIn, guys. LinkedIn. Seminars, virtual conferences, Twitter spaces. Maximize every opportunities you're seeing. Okay, chapter 9. Let's talk about chapter 9 that talks about how to turn your passion into a new position. Like Confucius says that if you choose a job that you love, you will never have to work for a day in your life. This one is very important. Basically, Dan Schawbel was saying in the book that if there is, if you're on a job already at work, you understand, and you can see just a gap that your company is not maximizing and stuff, you can just like talk to your boss about it, start doing it, make it look all about the organization. The organization will even be glad that you're not trying to be, you understand, like this them and everything. So just try to look at the organization, what the organization can incorporate. Pray that you have a good manager, not a boss that wants to do everything on his or her own, that listens to your opinions and all. At least just find out what you can do for the organization. Create time within your schedule to try to do it, and maybe in the long run it could turn into your permanent position, or that you will probably be responsible for it and you'll be shelved off some of your regular jobs. Yeah, job, you understand. So it's very important to, if you see something in your organization that you're passionate about, you can actually lead it, go forward and talk about it. And organizations these days, if there's an opening, most likely people will think about you. And these days, is a lot of companies like to recruit from inside. I mean, it's cheaper and all of that, and person already, it's just cheaper for management, and then it's a good organizational culture. So yes, if you have something you love that is happening within your organization, and it's your passion, you can turn it into a full-time position. Okay, so now you know all of these things. We've been talking about the book review of Promote Yourself at Work, The New Rules to Career Success by Dan Schwabel. And you haven't heard all of these things, I'll just tell you to start. Um, start something and do something about everything you've heard today. To do something about it daily. Like Dan Schawbel said in his concluding paragraph, it was like ensure that you do 365 things this year to improve yourself, and you don't have to wait till next year to start the 365. Just start right away. Start where you are with what you know. I would say, he also said, and I would also say that great things don't come to those who wait. So just do it. Go on and do it. Thank you very, very much for listening up to this point. Give it a thumbs up, give a comment. Let's hear from you. Send us a DM. We are all on Twitter, we're on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn at Plan Park Consult. You will see us everywhere. Just let's hear from you. Please ensure that you're sharing with someone that needs to promote themselves at work. We've spoken about other books that we also have on our channel. Ensure that please you're listening to them and having a good time with them. Thank you very much for listening to the book review of Promote Yourself at Work by Dan Schwabel. My name is Oluwatosin Mugbadu Ade. I'm your host on the show, and this show is Plan Park Podcast, your choice of for book reviews and crucial conversations in education. Brought to you by Plumper Consult for everything. Plumper Consult is for everything education, consulting, project. You grab what I mean, counseling, or your next NGO project. Just reach out to us, and we'll be glad to work with you. Have an amazing time. Happy Workers' Day. Promote yourself. Bye. Yeah.